Shavua Tov u'Mevorach. We are starting a new week and a new chapter in Mishnah Yomi of Ketubot, which is starting chapter 6. Mitziat ha'isha, something a wife finds, u'ma'aseh yadeha, and what she earns through her handiwork, through making something, levola, that belongs to her husband. Now, he said this already in chapter 4, and we explained that the husband, of course, has the obligation to pay all the bills and put a roof over her head and food and clothing and everything else. So it would create sort of jealousy if she found something valuable and didn't share it with him to put towards the household needs. And so our sages enacted by the wife and also by the minor daughter that what they're earning or finding would go to the husband, who is, of course, supporting them. Now, the Mishnah contrasts this virushata, and something she inherits. So she had, relatives who give her, bequeath her assets. Hu ochel perot bechayeha. They belong to the wife, but he, the husband, can eat their fruits during her lifetime. So if she would inherit some sheep, he could get the wool from the sheep and sell that and use that. If she inherits an orchard, he could, eat the fruits from it. Now the Mishnah teaches, boshta upgama shala. If she is, God forbid, injured in some way and there was embarrassment in this injury, or there was devaluation, damage to her, it belongs to her personally. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera Omer, Rabbi Yehuda disagrees a little bit. He says, bizman shebeseter, when the injury or the disfiguration, God forbid, is hidden, nobody sees it except her husband. Lo shnei cholokim, she gets 2/3 of the damage amounts. Velo echad, and the husband gets 1/3. Now the Gemara explains, the Gemara in Daf 66, that we have a concept in halacha ishto kegufo. Someone's wife is like his own body in a way. There's a unity, there's a special connection and a unity. So an attack on his wife is like an attack on himself, and a man feels very bad, very strongly about this damage to his own wife. But what if the injury is on an exposed part of the body that everyone sees, like her face, God forbid? Lo shnei chalakim. The husband, according to Rabbi Yehuda, is entitled to 2/3 v'lo echad, and she's entitled to 1/3. Now, the idea here is that not only the wife, but also the husband feels, profound embarrassment if she has, now a blemish, a physical injury, and, he might have less attraction and people might be laughing, and he suffers tremendously. And now part of the reason, this halacha sounds maybe odd in modern times, part of the reason is there's a halacha in Shas. The Rambam brings it down. The Rambam in Mishnah Torah, chapter 15 of the laws of marriage, halacha 19, our sages commanded us, a married man must honor his wife even more than himself. A halacha we've mentioned. A man must go above and beyond for his wife, even more than he would do for his own needs. So if his wife, God forbid, is injured, it hurts him even more, potentially. And the Mishnah explains, what do we do with this damages money? Shalo, the part that goes to a husband, yinatan miyad, we just give him the cash. Shalo, the part that goes to the wife, yilokach behen karka, you should buy land or a durable asset, v'ochel peirot. And the husband can use the peirot. She owns, of course, that item, that investment, and he benefits from that investment, like similar to a Yerusha, an inheritance that she received. Let's go on to Mishnah Bet. Haposik maut l'chotano. A father-in-law who pledged to give a certain amount, a certain dowry to his son-in-law, umeit chotano, and God forbid the son-in-law died, but he left a brother. Now, this sounds like Yavamas. It's a potential Yavamas situation. Now, his brother's coming in and saying, hey, I'll do Yibam, and how about that dowry? How about that big pledge that you promised, Mr. Father-in-law? So what do we do here? Amru Chachamim, our sages said, Yachol hu sheyomar. The father-in-law can tell the Yavam, the brother of the deceased, La'achicha haiti rotzelitan. For your deceased brother, alav shalom, for him I would give such a dowry. L'loch efshi litan. But for you, you understand there's a zika, there's a yibum. This brother has an obligation to take care of the widow of his deceased brother through yibum or chalitza. But that doesn't mean the father-in-law has to give the amount he promised to the deceased, to the yavam. Yasher koach and shvuah tov.